In the past, some iconic birds have been declared extinct, such as the great auk and passenger pigeon. And as many of you will have noticed, another species was added to this list this week, the slender-billed curlew. The slender-billed curlew was a small version of the Eurasian curlew with a shorter and thinner bill, a more pronounced head pattern, and a different pattern of spots on the underside. In this video, I'll discuss some of the most recent observations of the species and the most likely reasons of its extinction, based on an IUCN model that considers, amongst others, past cases, the efforts made to find the species in recent years, and the possible or likely reasons for its decline. There's a 96% chance that the species is extinct. This meets the IUCN's criteria to now consider the species extinct. You might wonder what the point is of declaring a species extinct. Money is one thing. After all, funds spent on research and searches for an extinct species cannot be used to protect other vulnerable species. The situation of the slender-billed curlew is different from that of, for instance, the ivory-billed woodpecker. The slender-billed curlew was a migratory bird and was seen and hunted in many countries in the past. The species' breeding areas are not well known, so it's unclear which area would need to be protected to help the species. In the case of the ivory-billed woodpecker, the forests where they might just possibly still live are currently well protected. But if the species is declared extinct, those forests may be less well protected, which could affect other species inhabiting them. A better comparison can be made with the Eskimo curlew, another shorebird that has not been reliably seen for many years. The last photographically verified sighting was even 33 years earlier than the slender-billed curlew, 1962 versus 1995. Yet, the Eskimo curlew has not been declared extinct, and the reason for this difference is unclear to me personally. There's more to say about the last documented cases of the slender-billed curlew. It is undisputed that the last photographed adult birds were those from Morocco in the winter of 1994-1995. In this area, several birds were found in the 1980s, returning each winter until 1994-1995. Even after 1995, there were reports from this location and elsewhere, but they lacked documentation. At the time, it was not yet common for almost every birder to carry something to take pictures, but it was already known that this was a globally very rare species. A remarkable observation was that of a bird in 1998 in Great Britain, which was listed as a slender-billed curlew on the British list for several years. Among other things, video footage of this bird was made. The issue was that it was a second calendar year bird, and the best, if not only field photos of this species, are of adults, making comparison difficult. Many features of this bird fit very well with the slender-billed curlew, such as underwing pattern, head markings, flank feather markings, color of bare parts, and the shape and length of the bill. Individual Eurasian curlews can occasionally show a feature resembling the slender-billed curlew, but this combination of features has never been seen on a Eurasian curlew before or since. One issue with this bird was its size, which seemed to indicate a female, while the bill length matched a male better. Also, some observers said the gist wasn't right. Ultimately, the case was rejected upon review, but it has to be noted that reviewers that actually saw a live slender-billed curlew voted both ways, so for some the gist wasn't a problem. It was not stated that it wasn't a slender-billed curlew, but the evidence was simply not strong enough for acceptance. What do you think of this bird? Do you think it was a slender-billed curlew or not? In any case, this bird has its very own Wikipedia page. Unfortunately, it was never clear where the species might have bred. In the early 1900s, nests were found in southwestern Siberia, south of the town of Tara in the Omsk region. Later, isotope analysis of feathers from museum specimens indicated that the species likely also bred in Kazakhstan. Searches in Siberia during the 1980s yielded no results. Perhaps the species was already extinct as a breeding bird there, or had become so rare that finding one in such a vast area was practically impossible. Much of the steppe habitat, where the species is thought to have bred, based on isotope analysis, was converted to farmland in the 19th and 20th centuries, which likely contributed to its extinction. Many other species worldwide face similar challenges. While only a few breeding sites of the species are known, the wintering grounds tell a different story. Due to hunting, which unfortunately still happens in some areas, there are relatively many verified observations of this species from specimens. During the winter period, birds were observed and shot over a large area stretching from Southwest Asia, the Arabian Peninsula, and countries bordering the Mediterranean Sea, on both the African and European sides. Even in the Netherlands, 9 specimens are known. The first accepted case dates from 1856 and the last from 1947. Other field reports were known up until 1981, but were not accepted by the Dutch Rarity Committee. In the wintering grounds, another problem was the drainage of wetland areas for agriculture. This likely caused the species to concentrate more in the remaining areas, making them easier to find and therefore easier to hunt. Following the slender-billed curlew sightings from the winter of 1994-1995, two notable observations from Hungary stand out. In May 1996, a bird was photographed there by a Dutch birder who had previously seen the birds in Morocco. Unfortunately, the details are too poor to assess all the features, and considering what happened to the 1998 British case, it's doubtful this observation would hold up. Another well-known Hungarian case is of a bird from 2001, seen by a total of 9 birders. A video of this bird should exist, made by Yoshio Ebihara, but whether it is still available, I do not know. I am currently in contact with someone who might be able to dig up that footage. When it is available, I will discuss it here on the channel. So, sadly, we have officially lost the slender-billed curlew forever. What does the future hold for other species? With the increasingly right-leaning politics of wealthy nations, nature cannot expect much from national governments. Fortunately, many local and private initiatives aim to improve the state of nature and biodiversity. Let's hope they prove sufficient, or that a political shift occurs regarding nature. For now, this concludes the story of the slender-billed curlew. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you next time.